Evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. My name is Leon Jones. Today's topic is how to pick a good major in college. How to pick a good major when you get to college. Now, what I mean by a good major, it's not something that has to be with a status name like a professor, an engineer, or a doctor. It's any major that you feel that you are going to benefit not only yourself but society. Now, what constitutes characteristics of picking a good major? We have to look at this. Are you artistic? Are you analytic? Are you creative? Do you like arts? Do you like writing? Well, if you have any of those characteristics, then you should go into something that deals with numbers, reading, journalism, education. And the reason why I'm bringing this topic up is because there are a lot of us who actually go to college, but will waste a lot of time trying to get into majors that we don't fit. And you should practice getting involved in any type of career that you are going to feel that you are going to be happy with. A lot of us aren't happy. We're getting into careers that our parents push us into doing, our friends push us into doing, and we're utilizing the status. Sometimes you got to fall back. Don't worry about status. You make your own status. I myself decided to go to school for engineering. Why? Because I like the analytics of doing investigative research so I can solve problems. I like the mathematics that are involved. I like the science, like physics, chemistry. I enjoy doing the lab work so I could take the research or the investigation that I have come up with and apply it. Most of us, when we go to school, we basically have no idea of what we want to get into in the first place, which is troublesome because it's time and money that is put out there to go to college. I mean, the government is giving schools the opportunity to provide financial aid for students who cannot afford college out of their pocket. And colleges are going up and up and up with tuition costs. The good thing I can tell you about one school here in Indiana, and Mitch Daniels, who used to be the governor here in Indiana, has done a good job as chancellor in the Purdue system to put a tuition freeze on all tuition at the main campus and its regional universities in Hammond and Westville and Fort Wayne. Now, utilizing what I just said about the tuition and the characteristics of a good major, take the time to find out what subpars are in your major. Now, what I mean by subpars, I'm going to take my field again and use it as an example. As a civil engineer ties a lot of other areas of engineering known as subdisciplines into that one category. For instance, as a civil engineer, there's structural engineering, environmental engineering, there is municipal engineering, construction engineering or construction management, surveying, and I call it water resources engineering, and that's where you get more into stormwater management. Well, you can actually take classes that are geared toward that sub-branch, so when you get out, the field that you're in, civil engineering, can be recession-proof, because if you don't like construction, you can always go back into hydraulics and design, environmental, water, wastewater, transportation engineering if you want to deal with traffic. The reason why I'm saying this is Because when you have an economy that is only growing at a rate of 1%, and the jobs that are being created are service jobs, you have to understand that picking a major that's going to be satisfactory to you is also going to make money for you. And you need to take the opportunity to look at the courses within that degree. Now, not to sound biased, but most of the courses that are heavily involved with mathematics are in the most demand. Courses that aren't are basically saturated. So that means you have to spend money for a master's degree, you have to spend money for a doctorate degree, and at the end, this is where you end up going to school and you end up staying in school. Now, you may be lucky to get on board as a professor or some type of staff member, but that wasn't your intent. See, you want to pick a major that you're going to enjoy based off of the characteristics, your personality, but you also want to give yourself an opportunity to explore other avenues within that major if one area doesn't work. Again, I'm going to use civil engineering as an example. I like the construction part, so I decided to go into the subdiscipline of civil engineering and construction engineering. Construction engineering involves management, a little bit of structural, geotechnical, and some traffic. But I'm basically managing construction projects, talking about estimation, bidding, contract, administration, construction accounting, because it has a lot of business involved in the construction engineering part. It's less design and more focused on the management level. Well, if I didn't like that, I could go over to structural, where I could deal with designing buildings, footings. I could research to find out what kind of column structure my building is going to have, what kind of beams I need for my building. Another field that I was in that I can tell you about that also has subfields, and I'm using these as examples, is the hospitality field. Now, if you enjoy cooking or culinary or event planning and convention planning, that's the field for you. But you have to be very people oriented, and you have to know how to solve problems. You have to be knowledgeable of the travel and the tourism industry, since you'll be required to sell travel packages. Now, if you're in the restaurant industry, you have to be knowledgeable of the menu, particularly if you are in the culinary or you are waiting tables. You must know the items on the menu so you can upsell the items to the customer. So even though you are in the back of the house in the kitchen, you have to know how to coordinate with the front of the house and also as a bartender, because you are the eyes and ears of the customer. You must be able to handle complaints. You must understand the health, because you must have a ServSafe certification. Now, if you don't want to go down that route, then you could go into the hotel arena, where you deal more with checking guests in, checking guests out, reservations, housekeeping, maintenance. Those are examples of fields that have subdisciplines that you can build your career in, and you can make good money. Along those lines, make sure when you pick a career, utilize that career to learn something for about 5 to 10 years working for a company, and then open up your own business. One thing colleges don't teach you is entrepreneurship. So when you pick a major, you have to look at your characteristics, and you have to look at your personality, and then look at the opportunities. Now, this is just an overview that I'm giving you in this video, because I could go into it for a longer period of time to break every detail down, but it would be about an hour, because there are a lot of metrics that are based off of psychology that go into breaking down different characteristics, personalities, levels of attitudes and leaderships that go into picking a major that you are going to be satisfied with. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: make sure you go into a major not because your parents are pushing you to go in that major so you can help them live their legacy of being doctors and lawyers and the names that are filled with status, but make sure that the major is what you want to go into, because you have to remember, it is your life. Your parents aren't always going to be around. But pick a major that is going to give you the opportunity to work in other disciplines, cross-training as well. That's why I brought civil engineering and hospitality. Another one that you could pick is accounting. Everybody needs accountants because you have CPAs, you have auditors, you have government accounting, you have hospitality accounting. Any type of business that you are involved with needs an accountant. Finance, portfolios, investments, capital budgeting. Those are fields that have a lot of numbers, but if you are detail oriented, you could go ahead and major in one of those disciplines and make a lot of money and go out on your own. Now, the fields that I just named also require some type of certification so you can get the reputation that you know what you are doing. Now, does a test mean that you are smart? No. A test just shows different prospective customers that you have an idea of the concepts that go into the type of job that you are employing other people along with yourself and what you are providing customers. Now, I'm going to get into the different types of testing in later videos, but I just wanted to keep this video short because a number of us really don't know how to pick majors in school because, number one, we're allowing our parents to dictate what we should go into because of the money. And a lot of us, when we go into any major, we end up dropping out of school after our first year or two because it just isn't for us. And prior to even going to a 4-year institution, try studying at a community college. Community college makes everything a lot easier because you can finish your first 2 years, get a piece of paper known as an associate's degree, and then transfer into a 4-year college as a junior. Therefore, you keep your tuition costs down, and when you graduate from a 4-year institution, you're not in a lot of debt, and you can get into the field that is going to allow you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And that's this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for Sunday, December 19th, 2016. Tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel so I can keep giving you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't engage in emotional, controversial topics, nor do I participate in drama or unnecessary bickering. So please be respectful and positive because this channel is for educational purposes, so knowledge is power. Also, if you have a business or a topic that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. I like comments. Please feel free to comment. Make sure your comments are pithy. No bloviating or pettifogging. If you wish to opine. That's it for this video. Till next time. My name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other and have a wonderful and blessed night. Good night.